Coach, talk about their offense. It seems they have a lot of firepower.
Well, they do. I mean, obviously they got a really outstanding running back, and they've got depth at that position. So they do a great job running the football. Quarterback does a great job on a lot of their gun run read option stuff. That if you don't cover all the aspects, and then they have all the built-in complementary things that goes along with it, the RPO things where you suck up, you try to stop the run, and then they get chances to take big shots down the field. And tribute to their offense, they did a very good job.
Thomas Owens, you talk about because it was a knee injury. What happened in practice, and how hard was that to play without your leading receiver?
Yeah, well, it's very difficult. And Thomas in the middle of Tuesday's practice jumped up on a high ball catch and made a great catch and came down. And I think the really obvious, the best news is that it's not something severe. And so, I mean, he had to have a little bit of a procedure done, but it's not something where the tendons and the ACL and all those things, there's no damage from that standpoint. They just got to tack it down. It's a little bit of you could call it a stretch or a mild strain and stuff, but they just felt like that to make sure that it healed 100%. And he may actually have a chance to come back for a bowl game.
But you mentioned the weapons that they have. You guys were keeping up with them early on.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't do the things that we did. We did it tonight, the same things we did last week. I mean, we had some drives that we got the ball out, made a couple first downs to start a possession, got out to the 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, then we get a sack or we get a negative loss, and then we get behind. And it's very difficult for us right now to try to overcome when you're behind the chains. And I thought our kids, to be honest with you, I was proud of our kids early because we got down 14-0, and they battled their way back in, got back to 14-7, got back to 14-10. They scored right before the half, and I thought, we had settled down, and I thought we had gotten our composure. And then, this third quarter, the biggest deal was we could never get their defense off. I mean, 3 or 4 different times in the third and fourth quarter, we had them 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and allowed them to convert on third downs. And if you can't get them off the field like that, then it's going to be tough on your defense because you're going to play all night long.
Can you describe what's the mood of the team? This is their big rival.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I think they're hurting. I mean, I think they're very disappointed. I think that, they certainly would have loved to have played better and loved to have won the game. But I think that, I think these kids have been remarkably resilient all season long. I think that the courage and the leadership of our seniors, I think they'll bounce back, and we'll get ready for next week.
And how about the mood, obviously, with the back-to-back losses now?
Yeah, well, I mean, we addressed it with the way we address everything. We were very, very honest with the kids. I told them, I said, I loved some of the competition that they did. I thought that they fought. I thought they competed at times. But I think, some of the things, the fundamental things, the busted coverages and the missed tackles and the things that put you behind schedule on the offense, I mean, those are self-inflicted. If we'd have played it absolutely 100% perfect, I don't know if we would have beaten them or not, but I mean, you have a very difficult time winning when you do things to yourself.
Coach, it's overall your first Don Shula Bowl experience. Just talk about that for a minute.
Yeah. Well, I thought the atmosphere was outstanding. I mean, obviously, the crowd was into it, and I think the preparation during the course of the week, our kids really saw this as a gigantic rivalry and wanted to play well, wanted to win the game. I think the thing that probably makes it as intense of a potential rivalry every single year is the fact that so many of these kids know each other. I mean, they've played against each other ever since they were probably in middle school and high school. So, those things, obviously, they give you, an added, anticipation and added, part about trying to win the game.
And obviously, 2 final home games,
Yeah.
So how do you build on that to just try to move forward with those 2?
Yeah, well, we've got to. I mean, we got to do it like just whether we won or whether you lose. I mean, you've got to get ready. It's a short week. We play on Friday this week, so we don't have the luxury of having a day and a half to kind of get over and lick your wounds. I mean, it's got to be like as soon as they get on that bus, we got to turn the page and start getting ready tomorrow for Western Kentucky. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Yep.